Hello and welcome to Flight Simulator and XP11. So we are here out of Winnipeg, St. Andrews, and we're gonna fly in the Eclipse 500 or Eclipse 550 NG from Aerobask, which I think is pretty awesome. You can have shocks and door open if you want to. You can have shocks. We're going to load it up because we're going to do a FS economy flight. And we are going to KPMB, which is, I should go check what it's called actually in real life. It's, oh, I forgot it. It's called Pembina Municipal. So it's a pretty short flight. We fill up 5 passengers, which is what we can have in here. Turn the power on. You can do stuff from the menu here. You can also reach the menu from over here. There's an iPad there. We'll go lights, so flash, so you can turn on our interior lights here. So, close the door. Press there to get rid of that one. Garmin, which is a pretty cool one. It's not the Reality XP. It's one in the game itself, the aircraft itself. So, we have a flight plan here. We'll activate that. Yes, please. Which will bring us to Winnipeg and then Airway 181 to Santa and then direct KPMB. So pretty good. Set this up for GPS. So we'll just run our checklist. So pre-flight, pit hook covers and chokes removed. Engine selectors, which are up here, are off. System battery switches on. Fuel level, actually that's low. We need to refuel our plane. Just cancel this, and we'll go over to the web page, and we'll refuel it. The view about this is it can hold 5 passengers even if it's just fully loaded. So we'll go 100%, which is 230 gallons. I'll just start this again. Fuel quantity checked, so that's full. It's over here now. Power level is idle. Here. The parking brake is set. Key handle down 3 greens. All light switches are off. So these are the light switches. Flaps set to takeoff. Get a takeoff warning there. Takeoff setting there. Rudder panels adjusted. Flight controls. So this has a side stick, which is kind of neat, I think. Which didn't work for some reason. No, it works. Okay. So that's free in setting. We'll turn off the flight director. And trims are set, which they should be around here, slightly higher actually. So okay. Before engine starship, GPU is connect that. Have a GPU out there. You can actually hear it starting out. Door is closed. Oxygen control, pull on. There. And we'll go cabin air. We'll set like that. Lights. Turn the lights on. ELT is that way. Bus tie is on. New test lights here. Everything is okay. So oxygen control pulled on. Oxygen pressure check. Air switches as required. Left and right generators are off. These ones are off. Bus tie is auto, which it is. Downseater lamps test. Downseater lamps tested. ELT switch is armed. External lights are as required. Gear down 3 degrees. Fuel quantity checked again. Parking brake is set. Is here on. ETS clearance that's obtained, we'll go check that. So that's 125.8 here. So winds 170.19, altimeter is 30, 0.2, just press here, 0.34. We'll go up to 14,000 feet. And our climb speed will be 167. So you can just press here and set them, which is pretty awesome. So departing runway 22 and 18, so we'll go off 18, I think. Set 1185 here for tower. So common and radio is everything set up. So engine start. Everything as it should be here. It's pretty simple. You just go up here. See, you have closed doors. Yeah. So turn it to on, and it will start spooling up here. It does everything. It's FedEx, so it does everything on its own. Which is pretty awesome. Looks good. Don't know why the N is like minus. It's weird. I will turn on that generator. Turn on the next engine. It's pretty late, like 11 o'clock at night here. That's because I'm flying real time, and I'm located in Sweden, where it's about 7:52 in the morning. So it's pulling up. Everything looks good. It's in the green. So 709 kilos. I do kilos because I'm European. That's why. Okay, good. So we go over here and generator on. Set air source to normal. That's it. So we'll do. The start checklist is everything is set. You can disconnect the GPU. You hear that sound going off there. So before taxi, FMS setup is complete. Trim is set. Flaps are set takeoff. Ice protection is as required, off. External lights as required. Taxi and takeoff briefing. So we'll just it's just straight out here to left to right, and then we'll line up 18. So it's pretty close. We'll take off. Climb runway heading 400 feet. Flaps up. Well, actually, take off. Speed will be 91 knots. Positive rate clear up. And land taxi lights off. Continue climb runway heading to 400 feet. Flaps up, yaw damper on, and climb power. And then we'll continue to Winnipeg, VOR. And if anything happens before 91, we'll stop. If anything happens after 91, we'll take off and deal with it, and we'll come back either to 04 or 18. There shouldn't be much of an issue there. Okay, so parking brake released, and then I'm ready for taxi. Taxi lights on, get some power. Need quite a lot of power. It's not the most powerful engines on this plane. Unfortunately. I usually set this up for flight director on, a climb speed, which is 167, and then heading, runway heading first, and then we'll go nav. So I have a flight director queue for how to do this. It's not an issue, you can do it pretty easily without a flight director too, but it just makes it a little bit more handy. So it's just here, and then we'll go off to here, so it's pretty close. And then we're basically at runway 18. So it's not, it doesn't have the most powerful engines, which you can notice when you're in takeoff roll. Even if you have full power, and still barely will get off at this runway length. You would need actually a little bit. Also, the brakes aren't too good, so if you go landing, you need to be a bit careful there, because it will kind of well, you can't go long, because then you won't be able to stop the thing. You, at least the runways I'm flying here around Winnipeg. Okay, so lights on, transponder is on. We'll go up here and turn around, and we'll do it before takeoff checklist. Okay, so we'll stop here. (186) is our heading, so we'll set that. So heading bug. 14,000 feet, 167, 3004. Takeoff flaps, that's it. So we'll do checklist. Before takeoff checklist. Takeoff configuration, okay. Air sources are normal. External lights are as required, and transponder mode is altimeter. Okay, so we can take off. So 91 speed, positive rate, gear up, and lights off, no, taxi lights off. Continue climbing 400 feet, flaps up, yaw damper on, climb speed, and then on our way. Okay. So hold the brakes here. See if I can manage to keep it on the middle center line. Not the best at that. So looking for 91. Engines are good. 70, 80, 91. Rotate. Positive rate, tap the brakes, gear up, lights off. Landing taxi light off. There it is. Maintain heading. Let it accelerate slowly to 120 knots. So we'll try to reach 120 knots by 400 feet. So flaps up. Yaw damper on. Climb speed, which will be 90. We'll turn on our way. I will set this to nav. You can see it wants me to have lower lows, because when it want to accelerate to 167 knots, that's why. So this flies really nice manually. Like most Aerobask planes, they're really good flight dynamics. So up here we have Winnipeg International Airport, which we'll cross over. So after takeoff checklist is gear positive, right, gear up. Flaps are set up. You can see it here in the middle. Flaps up. Pretty easy. Yaw damper is on. Throttles are MCT, which is climb power, 90. Ice protection as required. And that's the after takeoff checklist. We'll go across up here towards 5,000 feet, and then we'll go to climb checklists. Gonna hold it off a little bit. See, really nice view. Winnipeg. Night lights in XP11 are so amazing. So beautiful. So we can switch on the autopilot here. We'll do the climb checklist. Okay. Pressurization. Set delta PSO millimeters. Everything is okay. Rate and altitude. Landing lines, we'll turn those off. Actually, they should be on below 10,000. We'll leave them on because it's night. And that's it for climb checklist. You can also get the if you want, you can get a checklist in here. Go back to here, utilities, checklist. You can have it here, so we can go like let's see, taxi. Will you climb checklist? Pressurization 10,000 feet of pressure, and you can just go like that. That's so. And then you can either go to next here, or you can go select another one here. So cruise checklist. But I used to do. I have like 20 hours on this plane now, and used to do use this checklist a lot. But now I sort of feel that I could go. Map flight plan here. You can see how much, well, 61 nautical miles left. So we're over the VR here. So we're turning to go down south towards our destination. Just switch this to before we took off. If I had VATSIM or something on, it could be great. I saw they're working on a new VATSIM voice client, which looks interesting. So maybe that will be awesome. Getting close to going into the clouds here, so we'll turn on our anti-ice, wing, engine, and windshield defog. Hopefully we won't have to stay too long in the clouds. I mean, this is a good airplane. It has auto throttle system, which you won't use it for climb, but you use it for cruise and descent. So we can switch that on later. Still sort of getting in the clouds. So 10,000 feet. Landing lights off. So it's 18 minutes. It's a pretty short flight. It won't be 18 minutes because it will speed up as we're climbing at quite a slow speed. So 167 knots indicated. So we will, when we level off here in a few thousand feet, so will start accelerating. So this is such a short flight, so it won't really reach really good speeds, but we'll keep it. You should try to on these short flights. I keep it at like 85% power. If you go higher, you could go at 90 or even 95% cruise power. But then we talk like 41,000 feet or so. So and 41,000 feet is the certified top flight level. You can go. Map of KPMB, here it is. I get it. So wind 160, so we'll go runway 15, altimeter is 30 AT, so set that. 8. So, I mean, this is brilliant, you just set it whatever you want to have. You can also press this one and you can write it 3008. Keyboard. Same here, you could, if you want to add something, you could, let's see. So if I want to go, no, that wasn't here. Anyway, I think you can put it in using a keyboard somehow, but I don't do that. It doesn't take a lot of time anyway. So. Set this up to 150 if we want to do, so we can remember. No, that did not work. Oh, because we're on GPS, of course. Set this up to 150. We can have heading by where the runway should be. So nearly 14,000 feet. We can turn off our, no, not that. Turn off our eyes because we're out of the clouds. Let's see, and it's 49 nautical miles left, so we're basically just gonna reach the top of the climb here and accelerate, and then we'll start our descent again, because it's a really short flight. So 14,000 feet here. I just want to show you the speed. So if we set this to the speed we want, so let's say 220, it's good speed. And you can engage, now we're cruising, so we can engage the ATS system, auto throttle system, and it will accelerate to 220, and then it will keep 220. You don't have to use it. I don't, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't use it. Sometimes I just put it like 85% or something, or 90% and just let it fly that. This is just one way of doing it. So 40, let's see, 45 nautical miles, so we'll start our descent. So we're going to go down to about 2,500 feet, so we'll set that here, 2,500 feet. Press this one, you get 1,500 feet, which will be our descent rate, minus, enter, and then press vertical speed here, and it will start our descent. And since we have ATS installed, it will keep the speed when we're descending. Brilliant, right? For a really small jet. You can set these displays up so you can have different displays. You could, if you want to, you could go screen here, you could have no map, you could just have this one. Or you could have engines also if you wanted to. You can switch layouts, you get this sort of system, or this number of different layouts you can have. Or just this one if you wanted to. You can do the same over here, but I like the map here, so keeps me sort of aware of where I am. So I usually keep it like this, and then just displays here, and I'll get a flight plan over there. I think that works out good. We have, let's see, if you go map here, you could get a flight plan here also if you wanted to. You could also get nearest if you want that. Click here. Info if you want to go, say, where's the K? K P M E. Pembina Municipal. You get a runway here. Altitude 796, latitude, longitude, no towers, position level, bearing, distance. So all of that's pretty good runways. You go 15 asphalt, 157, so we could go, we know that, 157. Comms, no comms available there. That's what we know anyway. So info, that's a pretty cool way of, you get information pretty easily. So 10,000 feet, we turn on our lights, do our our descent checklist. Landing data received, windshield defog as required. Might be actually getting around to needing some of that again. Turn it on. Altimeters are set 3008. Landing lights are as required. The approach setup in briefed is we're gonna brief it. So V15 runway 15 at Pembina will, so when we get close we'll do a lap. I think hopefully the weather is sort of okay, so we do visual approach to 15. I don't think we have a 15 approach in here, so I think we have 33. Yeah, we have a VOR if we wanted to, but no, we'll stick with the visual. And approach speed will be like, we'll keep it around 90. Flaps extension speeds are below 200, you can go takeoff flaps, and below 140 you can go landing flaps. And that's about it. So in case of missed approach, we'll just climb runway heading to 2,000 feet and then do another lap around. Shouldn't be a problem. You could also return to St. Andrews, and we can also return to Winnipeg if you needed to. We have lots of fuel for that, so no issues. So that's the approach checklist. Next checklist is final approach. So you can see here, we can expand here. Pretty okay. We could actually go, if we wanted to, we could go straight from here. We don't need to cross Sunta. So we'll go with E1 220 maybe. And heading 210 maybe. So we set this to 2000, I think. So see, pretty nice day outside. Night. Pretty nice night outside. You can turn off the anti-eyes now. It should show up, I mean, up here somewhere. I should go to 00. I want to go here, and then we're gonna go down 15. So this could, I think this is the airport over there. It slows down pretty fast, but we don't want to be high because it's. I've done a couple of go-arounds on this aircraft because it was too high on the approach, which is not an issue. Just get the power back in and climb again. So climb's pretty okay. I haven't done much one engine work, so I don't know how it climbs on one engine. I'm pretty sure it's kind of slow climbing, but it works pretty okay there too. So 700 feet, almost 800 feet is the altitude of the airport, so need to keep that in mind. Pretty flat around here, so no obstacles to run into, which is good. Could use this, maybe descent rate a little bit. So you can set it up here, the vertical speed. You can also change it here. So it's pretty awesome. There's several different ways to input stuff into the auto flight system. I think we'll go out here and then we'll go in there to the airport. I think we're gonna go off here. We're gonna go manual, so we'll turn off autopilot and yaw damper, and it also turns off the auto throttle system. So we'll just slow down here manually. We're gonna go down towards, say, below 200 knots anyway. Don't want to be too early, but you don't want to be efficient, but you don't want to be too slow either, because then it will sort of mess up your approach speed. So I really like this Aerobask. There's a free version of an older a free older version, which is okay. I flew that a lot. Just try it out. Worked out pretty nicely, but it doesn't have the same real characteristics when it comes to speed and that sort of stuff, which is really obvious when you fly it. Okay, so we can give us 1 notch flaps. Take off flaps because we are below 200 knots, so which you need to be, otherwise you'll destroy the flaps. Which is a cool part about X-Plane, which I've flown FS 2004 a lot, and you just fly on there and nothing ever happens when you do things wrongly. So that was a bit of getting used to when it came to X-Plane, that I needed to think about speeds and stuff for flaps. So I kept destroying flaps because I kept extending them too early, which was silly and stupid, but I did. So we can set up this heading here for 157. Give it a bit more speed. So we are a bit out. Let's see. We have 15 nautical miles left. We have the runway in sight, so this is going to be a longer approach. I usually don't do this sort of long approaches. My approach is much shorter. Shorter. But okay, we'll practice a long approach. You can see not much traffic. I have an sort of a mod installed which changes lighting, so it gets less lights out in the countryside. I think in real life, I don't know if they have street lamps or these lights. Seems like slightly overkill. Okay, so we're here. We need to start our descent a little bit. We can bring out our gear and put taxi lights on. So 3 greens. Pressurization looks good. Almost 12.5 miles out. Actually, I think that's with Sumta. Maybe it's to Sumta. Yeah, the waypoint we were going for before. So we're getting close to 2,000 feet, which was our planned arrival. Well, was to 2,500, and then I lowered it to 2,000, but still. Okay. So the thing here, when it comes to approaching landing and the Eclipse 550 and G, which is this, at least this model of it, is that you need to control its speed. You need to have not too slow, but you don't want to go fast, because it's a pain to get it to stop if you're going fast. It's also really hard to stop if you're kind of low. So we're under 140. We can flaps, landing flaps, speed check, and selected. So landing checks, landing flap set. So now we'll reduce to about 90 knots, which will be 95 knots. So before landing checklist: gear down, 3 greens, check. Brakes, checked. Flaps are landing, and autopilot and yaw damper is off. That's the landing checklist. Trim it a bit here so we can keep our descent rate and lower our speed instead. It's a nice scenery. So 95 minimum. Don't want to go below that. I think it's okay for now. Slightly high. Slightly high on both speed and altitude. Also have time to correct it. I think this is so beautiful. Sorry. Look at the like houses and the yards and everything. XP11 is such a pretty simulator. 500, our dear aircraft told us. Reduce speed a little bit more. So nice houses there on the left. '98, '97, '96, '95. Want to go lower. So we want to touch down in the right zone, and we want to touch down at a good speed, and we want to be able to stop. So it's a bit tricky to stop. That's one of the things I learned pretty early on, that it's not the easiest plane to stop. That was a bit... Okay. That was not the best landing, but it was okay. So we can brake. We have lots of runway left to stop, which is important in this plane. So and we can turn around and just give it some power here. Turn the flight director off. Bring up the flaps, set the cabin air to off. So exit is at the far end of this this runway, so a bit of a drive back, taxi back. Can't see much at night, but it's a really cool plane. Looks really funny. The engines are really small. They look extremely small in comparison to even this really small plane. This is one of the first small, really small light jets. I guess I see a runway. Take taxiway is up here somewhere. Here we go, just here at the far end. So, strobes off. Landing lights off. Transponder, standby. After landing, flaps up, external lines as required, air source switches off, ice protection as required off. After landing checklist, so we'll just taxi in here and park. Taxi light off. I like the store there, no, the vending machine there, I like that. So, parking brake on. Generators off, and then we can turn off our engines. Open the doors. So, and we're here. we can go and finish our flight, and we'll note our time, which was 0825. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll do the parking checklist. We can do the whole thing. So throttles idle, parking brake is off, is on, air source is off, inner switches are off, all external lights are on, not off. Do that. Left generator switch on, the bus tie switch is off, assist batteries are off. So this is the basic shutdown. So this is the way I did it by the checklist, and so I did one of those small errors, and the landing was the best one, but it's pretty stable, and I didn't run over the runway. It was good on the speed, so that was a pretty good flight. Anyway, I'm Andy. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. But hope you like it. Have a great day, everyone. Try this. This is a really good model for XP11, so go fly it. Take care. Bye bye.